a video of the 10 biggest benefits that I got when I stopped smoking. I stopped smoking 2 years ago. I was a 20 cigarette a day smoker, but I stopped cold turkey. Now I put some videos on when I was stopping smoking. These videos were days 1 to 5 of my cold turkey journey. And the other day when I went onto YouTube to put on my 2-year celebratory video, I looked back on those videos and I gave myself a real fright. I looked really sick, I looked really ill. Actually, I couldn't believe it. But what I thought was, wow, you don't ever want to go back there, because that's why you stopped, because you were ill, you didn't look good, and it was killing you. So have a look at this picture. I'm sure you'll be able to work out which picture is now and which picture was 2 years ago when I was stopping cold turkey. Not hard to tell, huh? So let me get on to the benefits. Better hair and better skin. So when I was a smoker, I had really dry skin and really dry hair, and I didn't really ever think it was because I smoked. I always thought it was because I was dehydrated, I didn't drink enough water, I drank too much coffee. All of that plays a part, obviously. However, smoking does really seriously dehydrate your body. As soon as I stopped smoking, my skin became much less dull as well. My hair became less dull and a bit more shiny. I'm not much of a hair guru. I probably don't use the proper products, but I certainly have noticed a huge difference in the health of my hair and my skin. You'll have seen it in the screenshot that I took of the videos. My skin was really, really dull. My skin tone in my foundation has changed by 3 shades since I stopped smoking, because my skin isn't even the same colour anymore. So it's unbelievable. I feel like I look a lot better. So that's reason 10. A lot better. So sleeping has been impacted hugely for me. I always thought that I was an alright sleeper. I can sleep as soon as my head hits the pillow type girl. I can lie until 1 o'clock in the afternoon type girl. No bother. However, I've been able to sleep in a much deeper sleep. I feel much more rested when I wake up, and actually that's because when you're a smoker, your body is in constant withdrawal, so much so that it does affect your sleep habits. So sleep like a baby, stop smoking today. Less grouchy in the morning and more energy. So I used to wake up in the morning and I used to be Mrs. Grumblebum, and I used to shout at my wee boy to get out of the bed, and then I'd stomp downstairs for the coffee, and I wouldn't feel human again until I had at least 1 cigarette and at least 1 cup of coffee. I'm just like a normal human in the morning now, no more Mrs. Dragon. I have more energy. I have more energy in general in life. No, I don't spring out of bed every single morning. I kind of hoped I would, but I don't. However, getting up isn't too much of a chore, and I'm certainly not in an incredibly awful mood. So that's made a huge difference to my family life, to my wee boy, to my husband, and I'm so grateful that it stopped, because I didn't know why I was so grumpy, which seems a bit silly now, because obviously I was in withdrawal from nicotine. But yeah, less grumpy, more energetic. Reason 7, better breathing. Now, I have to say, this didn't start immediately for me. My breathing was probably a wee bit worse for the first couple of weeks. However, when I started to exercise again, that's when I really noticed the difference. I was able to run that wee bit longer, I was able to walk that wee bit further. I was able to get to the point where if I was at the gym or if I was walking, that my muscles would get sore before I got breathless, and that had never happened to me before as a smoker. As a smoker, my lungs stopped me first and foremost. So I never got to the point where I gave my legs any sort of workout really, because I would be so breathless before my muscles kind of gave up. So yeah, being able to breathe better. Reason 6.5, I'm happy to be outside. I used to get sore lungs, I used to get a sore throat if the wind was too or the air was too cold, but now I can just enjoy some time with my little loves, and they get much longer walks and they're much happier, and so am I. When you aren't able to have a cigarette because you're on a long journey, it doesn't matter. So I used to dread long journeys, I used to dread long flights. Any flight over 3 hours was just a, oh my god, how am I going to cope, what am I going to do? If I was in a film with my little boy for more than 2.5 hours, I would be sneaking out to have a cigarette. And you know, I just wouldn't enjoy it wholeheartedly, because I'd just be thinking, oh my gosh, I'm going to have to wait all this time to have a cigarette. I don't have any of that worry now. Smoking doesn't control me, it doesn't control my life. My habit to nicotine doesn't control my life. If I want to sit in a cinema for 3 hours, I can. I might get hungry, or I might need the toilet, but they're my biggest problems. My husband still smokes, and we went on a flight to Dubai from the UK, and that's about 7.5 hours, so he was a bit of a grumble bum by the time we got to Dubai. And you know, I really thought, I'm so grateful that's not me, because I know how it feels, and it's rubbish. So yeah, I don't know what we call that one. Circulation and no more cold feet. Oh my goodness, my cold feet. They were always freezing in bed. My husband used to always say, get your feet off me, they're freezing. So yeah, now I don't have to wear toasty socks in bed unless I really want to, unless it's the middle of the winter. My feet aren't cold anymore. I feel like the circulation in my hands and my feet is much better. Generally, I just feel my circulation across my entire body is better, and you can tell from my glowing skin. Number 4 is smell. It's quite self-explanatory. I don't smell like cigarettes anymore. I smell like perfume or oil or whatever I have on, and that makes me feel a lot nicer. I guess I started to become really self-conscious about stinking of cigarette smoke. I became self-conscious if someone got too close to me. I'd maybe edge away from them. I would always have chewing gum, I would always have perfume and body spray and everything in my bag. And yeah, you know, of course I still have those things, but obviously they're not masking an awful smell anymore, so they're much more effective. So within myself I feel a lot better because I smell a lot better. Number 3 is less stigmatized. Yes, I feel less stigmatized as a smoker. Rightly or wrongly, probably wrongly, I felt stigmatized. People who have never smoked didn't understand why I smoked. People who used to smoke, sometimes they're the worst, you know, gave me a bit of a hard time. You know, you shouldn't be smoking, you've got a wee boy, you'll never see your grandchildren. Do you smoke in the house? Do you smoke in your car? Because you know it's bad and people can die from passive smoking. And I guess people always thought it was alright to tell me why I should stop smoking, but it seems to be okay to give a relative stranger smoker a hard time. I mean, of course it's right, you know, we will probably die sooner if we smoke all our lives. We probably do risk not seeing our grandchildren if we smoke all our lives. Yeah, the risks are real. However, as a smoker I felt incredibly stigmatized. People made me feel like I was being selfish, and I hated it, so I don't have to deal with it anymore. I probably shouldn't have had to, but yeah, that's gone. Number 2 is control. I feel like I have control of my life. When I was a smoker, my life was controlled very much by my addiction. Everything I did was around when I would need a cigarette, so I would make every decision that I made in my life based on having a cigarette. So I would wait until I needed a cigarette before I phoned my friends so that I could have a cigarette while I was talking to her. I would have a cigarette after my dinner. I would revolve my breaks at work around when I was going to have a cigarette. Every decision you make, if you're a smoker, you'll understand it. It consumes you and it controls you, and breaking free from that control is the most liberating feeling ever. You're like a slave being released from your master, and it feels incredible. Trust me, it's the best feeling ever, and this is what you should strive for as a non-smoker. Number one is that I feel like I can do anything in this world. I stopped smoking cold turkey, and I did it. I made it. I invested time in myself to stop smoking. I took 2 weeks off work. I decided that I was going to use these full 2 weeks for me, to save my own life, to heal my body, to do exercise and drink smoothies and get to a point in my life where I wanted to be, and that was as a non-smoker. So after I stopped smoking, I really reflected on it as one of the hardest things that I've had to do, breaking that habit. But wow, now that I've done that, you better believe I believe I can do anything. My next lots of videos are going to be how to shift some of this weight. I've sort of forgiven myself a little bit for being a wee bit on the heavy side because I stopped smoking, but 2 years later I think it's time we got that sorted. So if you'll join me on my weight loss journey, fingers crossed, then I'll see you in the next video. If you're stopping smoking, listen, all the luck in the world. I'm with you. I won't smoke with you today. I believe in you, and if you need any help whatsoever, you get in touch with me. Okay? Bye!